Welcome, our guests, to another beautiful episode. This time with a special guest, Coach Simona Boldrini. Welcome, our guests, to another beautiful episode. This time with a special guest, Coach Simona Boldrini. And today we will be covering so many gems that our special guest Simona has. But before we go to that, I would like to welcome my co-host, Coach Shilpa, to this segment. Coach Shilpa, you're welcome. Coach Simona, you're welcome. In today's segment, thank you. Yeah, in today's segment, we are going to learn the sales success journey, the career success journey, and effective leadership that Coach Simona Boldrini has been able to display. You see, Coach Simona started just like you as you're listening today. She was not extraordinary, but she discovered the extraordinary gem in herself, and she was able to transform herself and become a world leader. And so today's episode, we are going to go deep with her, trying to understand the nitty-gritty of how she was able to make this transition, so that today she's helping people from around the world to become a better version of themselves. Before we go further, I would like to invite our co-host, Coach Shilpa, to introduce to you in full picture of who our special guest Simona is. Coach Shilpa, please take it away.
My pleasure. Thank you, Dr. Gerald. And once again, I welcome you all, our listeners and viewers, to Lead Talk Podcast and Lead Talk TV. And thank you once again for showering your love with so much of comments and so many people reaching out to us, even suggesting us what is that you would want us to cover. So that inspires us. Thank you so much. With that, I move to the introduction of our wonderful guest today, whom I believe is the best coach in the world because I have experienced her coaching myself. Beautiful. So who's Coach Simona? Simona Boldrini is a closer and a high-ticket coach and consultant. Yes. She's completely transformed her life in less than 3 years from being an employee to six-figure earner high-ticket consultant with the guidance of her mentors, coaches, and her relentless work on herself. Yes. Her background in physiotherapy and working with old people gave her perspective and urgency to change her life and become very, very everyday best version of herself day by day and not stopping at any success. She often asked, why should she impact just few people per day when she has an ability to impact 100, 200,000 and now much more than that? Why she should stop? Now, she is currently head of coach department and she is training coaches at Marketing Genius organization headed by one and only the fabulous Fabio Gallerini, who creates possibilities to people reinvent themselves and establish in their online world. In this episode, she will share with you key insights on how you can reinvent yourself, leveraging your 9-to-5 job position and fulfill your true potential because you are meant to be more. She has won the prestigious award of Closer of the Year for 2021, and she is currently located at Belgium, the beautiful city. Before progressing further, I would want to mention a special quote she personally loves and believes. And the quote is by Thomas Watson Sr. Nothing happens until a sale is made. That is so profound. So I'll repeat once more. Nothing happens until a sale is made because the world starts changing after a sale is made. Absolutely. So thank you for sharing that wonderful quote with us, Coach Simona. And today's podcast, as Dr. Gerald said, will be about how Coach Simona is now helping companies to achieve massive success, people to achieve their maximum potential, doing successful career transition, becoming effective leader, and she's changing million lives now. If you stick till very end, she will share with you some of her key learnings and high ticket skills she has mastered as a world class closer, coach, and now an independent high ticket consultant. So we'll also share the course links she is promoting right now and helping people with, also her social media. So you can connect with beautiful, dashing Coach Simona. So welcome, Coach Simona. And let me ask you first question. So tell us about your life journey in brief, starting from your early career days today.
Okay. Thanks a lot for the great introduction, Dr. Gerald, and the wonderful Coach Shilpa. And I'm really pleased to be here. It's an honor to be here and to connect with your audience. So whoever you are that are listening to us right now, I'm super grateful that you are giving us a little bit of your time, a little bit of attention. And I do really hope this will be valuable for you.
Yes.
So, yes. Back to my story.
Yes.
I am born in Italy, so I'm Italian. I've lived in Europe most of my life.
Yes.
Well, all of my life basically, and I come, from a very simple background. A city in the middle of the Italian hills, really in the heart of Italy. A very simple background, and I've always wanted to help people, and to first of all to improve myself. So I've been a long time in sports, and that lead to to develop an interest for the body, and for helping people. So I started my early career as a physical therapist, or physiotherapy. Physiotherapist, like it's said in Europe. And that was my movement has always been my main area of interest. And yes, that's where the journey has started. I've been passionate about physiotherapy, been passionate about movement, about people. And after I graduated in Italy, I moved to Belgium to continue my studies, because there was a particular field of study that I really loved, which is physiotherapy in psychiatry and mental health. And yes, I worked there, in the hospital, of my dreams back then. So I felt, yes, I'm really reaching all my goals. And and after 4 years that I was working in that hospital, I was feeling, okay, yes, what's next? What's the next challenge?
Exactly.
and
Beautiful.
yes, and moved also from the urgency, of seeing a lot of people at the end of their lives, because I was working with elderly. I really asked myself more profound questions on how do I want to live my life? How do I want to grow old? What I want to leave to this world? And I remember one episode that really touched me profoundly. And it was one spring day. I was walking in the park with an old lady that was, that had one of these, little stick, to walk. And so that lady said, okay, I have lived my life, worked 40 years, so most of my life. And I was waiting for my retirement to start to enjoy life, like
Yes.
start to to travel, enjoy life with my husband, and so on. And you know what she said? 1 year after my retirement, I got the diagnosis of Parkinson.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was literally a wake-up call for me, saying, okay, so why should I wait 40 years, before starting to live my life at the fullest?
Wow.
Very important.
Wow.
Yes.
Really awakening.
Yeah, that creates, a sense of urgency. And I started to look around, and I met my first mentor, which is Dan Locke.
Okay.
And yeah, so that's when the transformation started, and that's also where I met you guys.
Yes,
Yes.
beautiful. And we can totally relate to this. This is beautiful. Go on,
Yes,
God Shilpa.
yes, absolutely. So, what exactly helped you, Coach Simona, to shift the gears in your life and start achieving great success? We call here something called as a lead talk moment, like when you decide to lead your own side, your own life, and then that moment on, you only talk the lead language. So we call this as a lead talk moment. So, what is that moment for you, which you decided no turning back, now I'm going another route or direction?
Yes. That's a, by the way, that's a great definition, a lead talk moment.
Yes.
I love
Thank
that.
you.
Moment in which you take, control, the leadership on your own life.
Exactly.
Yes.
I think that was exactly the moment in which I was having that walk in the park with the old lady, and in which I really took the decision to say, hey, I really need to make some changes.
Some
Because
change, yeah.
if I continue, I was, like making some small calculation, sometimes I'm analytical too. I'm not very analytical, but sometimes I get analytical. I always make some small calculation. Okay. So simple calculation, say, okay, so this lady has, the high chance eventually to go to a elderly home.
Yes.
Okay. So let me make a calculation. Okay. How much does a elderly home cost here in Belgium? Here in Belgium, I made my research, and the base for the elderly home, literally the base without any extras, it's 1,800 euro per month. Okay.
That's pretty expensive.
Okay.
Yeah. So I made the calculation. Okay, how much am I earning right now? And I can share that with you. I have no problem. After tax was 2K. Okay, so it was 2,000 euro. And okay, I think, okay, if I retire today, I will get 80% of my income. Okay. And okay, so 80%, it's 1,600 euro.
Euros, yes.
Yeah. So let's pretend that I retire today and I want to go to an elderly home today. I'm fucked up. Okay.
Absolutely.
I hope that the audience here, forgive me for using a little bit of strong language, but that's exactly what
No
I
problem.
thought.
Yes.
Yes.
That's exactly what I thought. So that really made me shift, say, hey, I have no control on this life. I want to have control better now that I'm in my 30s than when I am 70s, my 70s or 80s,
Yes.
So let me do something about it now than later. And that's when I think my lead talk moment was.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Beautiful. That's absolutely, that really is very riveting, deserves acknowledgement. And so when you took that lead talk moment, so what were the key steps you took to start the journey of transition?
Yes, that's a very interesting question, Dr. Gerald. I appreciate you for that. And it's I think it's simple. You look at yourself right now, okay, where you're right now, and you look at yourself of where you want to be. Okay? You look who is already there. You look who is already there, and simply you go to these people and ask, how have you done it? And that's exactly what I did. This is why I encountered my first mentor, and until now is one of my main mentors. And he said, whatever you want to do in life, whatever you want to do in business, the first ability that you need to learn is the ability to close. Okay, so what is closing? Closing is basically making a sale. Okay, but closing is actually much more, because you're not just making the sale, so you're not just making a transaction, but you are selling also to the other person, the idea that they can be a better version of themselves, or that they can improve their business. They can improve something in what they are doing. Either you are selling a product or a service. Okay, so I listened to that. I listened to that advice, and I started my journey into sales. Okay. So that was my
the main step you took was to make sure you get very grounded in the area of sales and to really transform yourself from there. So as you started doing this transition, what are some of the key lessons that you would like to share with our audience today?
Yes. Well, first of all, that it will be challenging. It will be challenges because what you will be facing is basically is a change in identity.
Okay.
And in order for you to become the new version of yourself, the old identity of yourself should die.
True.
Okay. And that,
Yes.
The caterpillar that transforms in a cocoon, and then it transforms in the butterfly. It's really a transformational journey where you definitely change all your identity. And I was a caterpillar back then, and still I am a caterpillar in comparison with a future version of myself,
Yes.
But that's that process of being in your cocoon and making inside the transformation, a process in which it almost feels that you're not making any movement, that you're not making any progress, that you are super confused. That process is a little bit challenging. So first piece of advice is it will be challenges, because change your identity, it requires effort. You need to put in effort.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So second piece of advice I would like to share with the audience here is surround yourself with like-minded people and people that are doing the same journey as you are doing. And that really is the key insight, because if I didn't meet people like Dr. Gerald or Coach Shilpa, if I didn't meet, the wonderful community that we are part of,
yes,
that wouldn't be the same, and I definitely couldn't do it. Let's be honest,
I know. I same here, same feelings. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Those are such wonderful lessons, and you said it so clearly that there are challenges, but when you choose the right mentor, you choose the right community, you surround by the people who are like-minded, and you just go as per the success trails what people have created, tried, tested path. But you have to keep walking on it courageously. So that's so wonderful, Coach Simona. I want to ask you something, because you also have been studied physiology, then also a psychology. What are the mindset shifts that are essential for sustainable transformation?
Yes, it's not a mindset shift. It's an identity shift. Yes, and there is a little bit of difference in between that, because mindset shift is temporary, while identity shift is permanent.
It's permanent, yes.
Yes. So if you change yourself, if you change the way you're looking at yourself, so if I am a runner, I run. Okay.
Yes.
That's what I do every day. If I am a smoker, I smoke.
Yes.
That's what I do every day. If I am, I don't know, an employee, then an employee. I have the employee mentality,
Yes.
If I am an entrepreneur, then I am an entrepreneur, and I have the entrepreneur mentality and entrepreneur mindset, and I do things that entrepreneur do.
Does.
Exactly.
Yes.
Do. Yeah, exactly. So I would say that that changing identity is very, very, very key to long lasting success.
Beautiful.
Such a great point, because mostly people look after only how they can change a mindset, and then they get back into the old patterns because there is no real shift which has happened. So what would you think would be the 3 key steps for identity shift?
For identity shift is, I would say, imagine yourself being there, even though you don't believe it yet.
Yes.
Okay.
So make, for example, some vision board on how it will make you feel being there. For example, I made my vision board of the 6-figure award.
Yeah.
Of course, before I actually won the award. I made my vision board of closer of the year before I won the prize of closer of the year. So make your vision board, even though the reality is not catching up yet, and it will be difficult to believe that you are that person, but it will work. It will work.
Yeah.
This is one, and then another strategy that I have used a lot is affirmations.
Okay.
So repeat every day, and I mean, guys, every day, at least for 6 months, but do it every day. Affirmation regarding your new identity, regarding your new attitude, new mindset, new things that you will attract in your life.
Yes.
And so leverage affirmation. And the third one is stick to it. Stick to it, because what happens sometimes that most of the people, they don't persist long enough in order to see the results. Sometimes the universe, when you ask something, the universe has a little bit of lag. Sometimes it reacts immediately. Sometimes there's a little bit of
delay.
lag.
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit of delay, but that doesn't mean that you wouldn't get there.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So true. Thank you so much for sharing this shift process, because as I understand, it's creating a vision board, envisioning where you want to be, and start imbibing that now rather than waiting for you to achieve it. Then affirmations and actions, and staying on the path long enough to actually arrive there.
Yes.
So that's beautiful. And I also want to understand, because you mentioned, and thank you for being so transparent and sharing with us and our audience, that how you calculated your money, patterns, and what was your income, because those are such personal details. So are there any money beliefs that you had to overcome for this journey?
Oh yes, many. many.
Okay.
And this is something I was not aware in the beginning, and maybe some of the people in our audience can relate to that. And of course, my mentors pointed out to me, and I was paying attention more and more during my development. Made affirmation about that, about money, and but the easiest thing to improve your money beliefs is to stick around people that have more money than you. And
yes.
I love that. I really love that. Yes.
Yeah, it's still the environment and the community plays. If you are in an environment of people that they have more money than you, there is no way that you will not shift your money beliefs.
Yes.
And that's actually very, very simple.
Yeah, and that's so profound as well, because we people believe in so many other things, but they don't do what is really practical, and the environment of people really having what you actually want. So that is, I think, a great step. So over to you, Dr. Gerald, for the next beautiful questions.
Yeah, that's interesting. I kind of really like to take it from the point of having to change her money beliefs by sticking around with people who are more successful than her at that point. And although she's very successful, she's still, I will be sure, she's still keeping that mantra, sticking around with people who are one step ahead of her, so that the environment is stimulating and she's able to move to the next direction. So thank you, Coach Simona, for that strategy. Now, my question to you is, because you in our community, the community we share, one of the things we are very proud about you is your leadership skills, and how you're able to help other people grow. So in this journey of transformation, what would you say are some of the key leadership skills you've learned over the years that you have been able to use to take people, first of all, yourself, and then the people you are coaching to the next level?
Yes, that's a great question, Coach Dr. Gerald. And you know what? I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes it's just you do something, okay, and I say, okay, then there are some people that are following me, you know. That sometimes is you know, you do some, and you know, sometimes I was organizing role plays, simply adding value, sharing my takeaways, you know, in the community, in a group. And then people started to recognize me, started to get to know me, and whenever I did ask for help, I received the help. Whenever someone did ask for help, I was helping them, and yeah, of course, one of the key insight is make the first move, you know, because if you don't make the first move, for example, to you know to post that video, to help that person, to ask for help, okay, because this is, you know, also being vulnerable, showing yourself vulnerable. You will not grow as a leader. So one of the key insight for me probably was making the first move,
Okay.
or making a move among other leaders like you.
Yes.
And yeah, so that's one of the key insight.
Okay, beautiful. I like that. So because for every success, we always experience challenges. So what are the challenges that you'd say are leadership related that you had to overcome in this journey of growth and transforming other people as well?
Well, at a certain point as a leader, you realize that, okay, there is the hard truth that if your team is not performing, is because you are not performing. Okay, so it's always this constant feedback, and it's the same with coaching. You know,
Yes.
everything you see in the coaching process, it's a message for you that you need to improve something. So
Yes.
the more you are able to look inside yourself, you know, getting feedback from what is happening to your team or to your people or to your community, the more you will grow as a leader.
I like that.
And the more you take responsibility, so it's the ability to respond. The leader is, you know, the person that take responsibility about what's happening in the team. The more you take responsibility, the more you grow.
I really love that. I really love the element of responsibility where you take the responsibility, say, just like coaching, as you mentioned, what the client reflects many times is what you're reflecting back. So it's like the client's mistakes, challenges serve as a mirror. Beautiful. I love that. What about some of the mistakes that you felt, knowing them now, that you would not make them in the past?
Oh, there are many.
Share with us three, at least.
There are many. First of all, I was a little bit unaware at the beginning, but if I did know what this whole development journey would have brought to me, probably I would have started way sooner.
Okay.
Way sooner. I started in my 30s, but if I could start that when I was in my teenage, I would have been very grateful, you know. So start as soon as you can, having mentors and having coaches and having guidance, because that's the probably one of the key insight for your growth. And allow yourself to make mistakes. You know, we are talking about mistakes now, so allow yourself to make mistakes, because mistakes and faults are part of the process. You know, just like when you learn to walk, you know, maybe you don't remember anymore, but you have fallen several times when you were a kid, you know, in order to learn how to walk.
Exactly.
And actually nobody taught you how to walk. You just learn your own way. And
yeah, we figured it out, right?
you figured it out, you know, you learn through experience, you know, and learn through experience, and allow yourself to make that mistake, allow yourself to make the first move, make your first step, and even make that mistake. And the beginning, I wanted to be, perfect. I wanted to please other people. I wanted to, and get the best, do the best, and do it now, So I have 6-figure in 6 months, whatever.
Kind of unrealistic expectations, right?
Yeah. It took 3 years. It took 3 years, probably it was the time that I needed to, to make this transformation.
Okay. So knowing that you made several mistakes, and I want to acknowledge you for the last part where you said you should kind of be realistic, but also you should really allow natural time to flow into this process. So what advice then would you give to your younger self and other professionals, apart from the points you have mentioned? Any other specific thing that, if it is one major point you'd like the younger you and other professionals who are not in your level yet, but probably in the early years of their career, what is that advice?
Okay. One of the things that I experience a lot in people that want to change their profession is the lack of clarity. So they know I've experienced myself in a certain period of my life. I knew what I didn't want, but I didn't know what I want. Okay, so actually ask yourself what you want, and that goes back to the identity part, because when you don't know who you are, when you don't have clear what your identity is very difficult to have a path. Okay.
Yes.
So what I want to advise to my young self is, even though you don't know who you are and you're still trying to figure it out, don't stay in the same place. Make a move. Then maybe you will make a mistake. Okay, you will say, hey, that's not for me. And then you will move on to the other thing. But if you stay into the constant thought, okay, what should I do? Who am I? And you don't make any move.
Progress, right?
Then it's also no progress.
I like
Wow.
that. I like
That's
so
wonderful.
profound.
Yes, absolutely. And we are listening very deeply to you, Coach Simona, because you're giving out all golden nuggets, like you telling us starting soon and get moving and not get stuck in perfectionism. And we are always scared of the way we are indoctrinated in our profession, especially when we are working for others, is not to make mistakes. And in that process, we don't even grow. So these are real key lessons for everybody who's trying to be on this journey. So, Coach Simona, you have mastered many skills. So, can you tell us why you focused on learning skills, and which are the skills you would recommend people that they should learn to become and go take their journey to the next level, become better?
Yes. Thanks for the question, Coach Shilpa. And I've mastered. I'm still in the process to become a master.
That's because you're so polite. Yes.
So I started with sales 4 years ago, and that's the first skill I developed, and I immediately got like good results because I put in the work. And after that, I expand with copywriting, with digital marketing, and then later on, I also got into coaching, and now I specialize just on closing, so sales and coaching. And why I do believe they are related? I think that closing and coaching are very, very, very similar.
Yes.
Because in some way you are always selling. Okay. So when you are in a sales conversation, the result is the sale. Okay. So, but you're actually doing the same thing. You are making a shift in belief in the person you're talking to. And in the sales process, the end is a sale. You know, in the coaching process, you're making a shift in belief, and the end is action. An action. Okay, so go and implement task A, or talk to person B. Okay, but you are always selling that they can be a better person, that they can take action to achieve their goals, or so it's very similar. That's why I integrate completely closing and coaching, and that's why I do believe that closers are coaches and coaches are closers. Okay, so they are very, very, very.
Oh, yes.
I love that. I love that.
I love that. And absolutely. So you explained it so beautifully why closing is coaching and why coaching is closing, because in one place you get the sell transaction, in other place you sell themselves on their future version, and you hold that space for them as a coach. So that's so beautiful, and that's a nourishing environment for transformation as well. So, Coach Simona, what are the 3 things a successful closer and a coach do that rest 96% don't do?
Well, I don't know, but I think one of the main drive is wanting to improve.
Okay.
Wanting to improve. When I was an employee, we had the same drive, but at the end of the day, even though I worked hard or I didn't work, at the end of the day, I still had the same paycheck.
Right.
I know.
While right now, if I don't work, I don't have the paycheck.
True.
While you work, you can have unlimited paycheck as well.
Exactly. That's one of the things that I think, compared to when I was working on an employee job, which I still respect because it brought me where I am now. I didn't have such drive that I have now. So now I can work 12, 14 hours per day without feeling tired.
Yes.
And when I was working at my employee job, I was on Friday evening I was drained. I was done. Exhausted. Exactly.
Yeah, wonderful. That's so beautiful. And can you take us through what are your current projects and how you are then helping a beautiful business, a very strong foundational business created by the fabulous Fabio? How are you helping him in the business? And can you tell us about your current projects, how people can be reinvented by taking help of that?
Yes. Thanks for asking, Shilpa. And so Fabio and Matteo, they are 2 partners. They started this company about 6 years ago, online company. And I first entered their company as a closer. And after 1 or 2 years, I very rapidly grew as a coach in their company, because you have all these on-demand courses.
Yes.
What I noticed that people were not implementing. Okay, were not implementing, and so I told Fabio and Matteo, say, hey guys, what if I run a sort of accountability group to hold these people accountable, to make them share, to make them share about what they are learning, what they are going through, and simply let me do that. They said yes. And this is back in beginning of 2020.
Okay.
And so that was the start. And very rapidly, the coaching part within their courses grew a lot. And until the point that right now we are also offering not just group coaching, not just accountability, but also one-to-one coaching. And what I'm doing right now is to coach coaches that will coach in the programs.
Okay. Wow.
Beautiful.
So you're head coach, a master coach for the company.
Yes, I'm a head coach there. So I'm the head coach there, and I'm responsible for my coaches to grow and to help people in the programs to grow too. And the goal for 2023 is that every student that comes into our courses as a personal coach.
Okay.
Why is that so important for me, for my vision? Is because, it's like the difference of you going to the gym and doing your exercises, and going to the gym and having someone that is waiting for you to help you doing exercises and to push you beyond your limits, And so what we noticed is that the people that were having a one-to-one coach were having way more results of the people that did a regular course and did go way faster. So my goal is to help people really to make this transformation through my coaches and through the programs that we are offering, of course, under the umbrella of Marketing Genius Company, led by Fabio Gallerani and Matteo Pittaluga. So,
what is a website address for that company so that people can visit there? And we'll also share all the links below. But how do people find you on the online?
Yes. So basically, it's an Italian-speaking community. So if you are English-speaking, please connect with me. I will be very happy to hear your feedback on this talk. But indeed, if you are Italian-speaking, we have a lot to offer to you.
Yes.
It can be a closing course or digital marketing course or a copywriting course, whatever. The three main skills,
elements.
Three elements of online marketing right now, online professions right now. We can offer all of them.
That's so wonderful. And you highlighted one aspect, how you introduced one-on-one coaching, because you gave an example of gym membership, having a personal trainer. That is an accountability factor you created along with an engagement, so that people are more inspired to take actions, and people always do more when they're accountable. So that's wonderful, actually. So over to you, Dr. Gerald, for one of the most interesting questions.
I like that. Now, I just want to build on what Coach Simona has mentioned. And I like the illustrations she talks about going to the gym and you're cycling there alone and maybe even doing the exercise wrongly, right?
Yeah.
So when you have a coach, when you have a mentor, somebody's there waiting for you, because probably this is somebody who has been ahead of you, knows the strokes, is able to tell you, hey, Gerard, hey, Simona, do it this way, not this way. I really like that. And I'm sure as you listen to this, you can relate to what Coach Simona has mentioned. So taking that away, who would you say are the most influential mentors that have made you who you are today as you speak to us and the audience?
Yes. Thanks a lot for that question, Gerald. And of course, it's Seafood Unlock is my main mentor, and it's also the mentor of Fabio.
All of us.
Yes.
Yeah, all of us.
Yes.
And so blessings go to him, and also, of course, Fabio Gallerani and Matteo Pittaluga, as are the people that really we grew together. I came in a moment in which their company was really small, was really a startup, and I've been part of the process of going to the next level together with them. So I'm super grateful to Fabio, super grateful to Matteo, and super grateful of the environment they have created, because that the environment that is helping Italian people to reinvent themselves and to really believe that they can be a better person, that can serve this world, and they can leave a sign also for future generations. So super grateful to them. And of course, another mention goes to Coach Alex Mandosian, that has introduced
the master coach.
The master coach, Alex, yes.
Mandosian, that has introduced us to coaching, which has, really made a difference for me in the last 2 years.
Oh, beautiful. Wow. I love that. And so what would you say, Coach Simona, are the key lessons you learned from originally working on your own and now working together with a mentor? What are the key lessons?
That on your own is way more difficult.
Simply put. Okay.
No, you will never do it on your own, because if you could, you would have already done it.
Okay, beautiful.
Yes, so true.
I like that. And I like that, very crisp. So, audience, as you're listening, if you have an idea and desire to move to the next level, just hear what Coach Simona is saying. You cannot do it alone. If you're able to do it, you would have done it already, right?
Already, yes.
So that means if you have a desire to be a better version of yourself, you need to check your environment, see who is there, who could take me to the next level. I like that. And I know, Coach Simona, one of the things you're very passionate about is growth. And we know that books are a great source of growth apart from mentors. So, what are the three top books that you would recommend to people who are seeking to be business owners, who are seeking to be closers, and who are seeking to be better versions of themselves? Just three of your top books.
Yes. Well, of course, one of my favorite book is Siku Dan's Fuck You Money, you know.
Yes, yes.
I mean, that book is so well written. There are also some grammar mistakes, but you know, he's a copywriter. He's a great copywriter. So that book really flows. You know, you can read it in one day if you want.
Yes.
That's a great book. I really love it.
Yes.
And then I also enjoyed a lot Rich Dad and Poor Dad. It's a very famous book, but it can teach you a lot about, you know, the entrepreneur mentality and employee mentality in a very simple way. So that's also one of my favorite. Okay. And the third one I would say is Think and Grow Rich.
Okay.
And that's also, you know,
that's like a reading Bible. Yes.
Yes, that's a very powerful book. You know, sometimes I need to read it again because sometimes in my days I don't think anymore. It's I'm you know, vacuumed. I'm vacuumed into all the activities. So, you know, as a manager, as a leader, I should think more. So that's an advice for myself, you know.
I love that. So you have FU Money by Dan Lok, and audience, if you're listening, FU Money by Dan Lok. Then you have Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and then you have Rich Dad and Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Yes. So those are the three books that have changed Coach Simona's life, and you may want to take a look. And apparently, all the three of us have taken note of that book, and I think we've all benefited from those three books. Now, Coach Simona, what would you say are your key skills and competences that have made you become the successful entrepreneur, the successful coach, and the successful closer you are today?
Yes, one is of course sales. I would I would definitely, you know, mention sales skills first.
Okay.
And then coaching because that's a skill that I think everyone needs to develop at some point, because it will allow you to have better relationships.
Okay.
So better relationship with your family, better relationship with your team. Whenever you want to build a team, you want to become a coach in order to grow your team and to coach your team. And that's a very important skill right there. And I would say the third skill would be money management.
Okay.
Money management. It's not to underestimate.
Yes.
So while I was growing financially, I also needed to have some, you know, accountants and people to help me with the money management, because I mean, it's a good problem, you know, to have.
Yes.
You know, once you make money, how do I keep my money? You know.
Exactly. How do you multiply my money? Right.
It's a happy problem.
Good problem. I love that. Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Coach Simona. And we have heard how you have started your journey and how you have evolved. And actually, I was imagining, and we can all envision your journey so far. So what's next? What are you going to do now to now attain the next level of your significance?
Yes. Thanks for the question, Coach Silpa. So the next level of my significance is to make other people successful. So I'm now building, you know, my team of coaches. which are going to, coach about 400 students within the Marketing Genius organization in 2023.
Okay.
And my goal is to make them successful. So to help them to have financial wealth through the organization, to the value that we add to the marketplace.
Okay.
So now my goal, my next step is to make them successful, and even more people of my team to make them.
Okay. Wow. Wow. That's absolutely very beautiful. And yes, thank you. And we are witnessing your journey, and there is so much more which is coming. Now, I want to ask a very special question. That what question you wish we should have asked, but we failed to ask you?
No, actually, you have asked everything. I love the interview.
I would love that. That's very good.
Thank you so much. I take it as a compliment, and thank you for sharing that. So now, are you ready for some rapid fire?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I'll go first, and then Dr. Gerald is like, okay, so Coach Simona, what is your most embarrassing moment?
Most embarrassing moment? When I was at school, this is one of the most embarrassing moments. When I was at school, it goes back into, when I was a child, I was in a school near Rome.
Okay.
And, when the teacher was eating a candy, all the kids in the class, teacher, can I have a candy? Can I have a candy? Can I have a candy? Everyone was saying that. And then I moved to another city.
Okay.
Then I moved to another city. It was 2 hours drive from that. And so I literally moved with my family. And there was a teacher that was eating a candy. And I said, hey, teacher, can I have a candy? Can I have a candy? Can I have a candy? I was looking around me. All the others were sitting still. And the teacher, okay, Simona, if you want a candy, yes, please go on.
If you insist.
If you insist, please go on.
Oh my God.
So that was, this is a different way of behaving.
Okay.
Yes.
I
Culture
like that.
changes at every 100 miles. So yes, absolutely. Yes, thank you for sharing that. So what is that one thing you loved about being financially independent?
That I am able to make choices. So even that was one of my biggest fear, not being able to support my parents if they would need me.
Okay.
And now I'm not still at that place yet, that I can really be confident that I will cover everything, no matter what happens. But I'm getting there.
Great.
Yes,
Great.
absolutely. On the way.
Lovely.
Yes. Thank you. And what are your top 3 values?
Freedom. Freedom is one of my top value.
Yeah.
Loyalty.
Okay.
And persistence.
Okay.
Wow,
Like
beautiful, beautiful. I love these 3 values, and I closely resonate with all of them. What is that one thing you just cannot tolerate, Coach Simona?
Mediocrity.
Wow.
I love that. I love that. That's so
beautiful.
Cool.
What are your top 3 achievements?
The Closer of the Year award is the biggest achievement, because that felt like my Olympic Games. The Olympic Games that I never actually reached. Okay. That was my Olympic game. Then developing my own team. That's also one achievement.
Yes.
And the last one, I say it's the 6-figure award.
Okay.
So marking that's that limit.
Yes.
That's also a big achievement.
Fantastic, fantastic. And what is that one thing you wish you knew when in your 20s?
That I needed to have a mentor before that one.
Oh, beautiful.
Superb.
Beautiful.
Over to you, Dr. Gerard.
Absolutely wonderful. Thank you, Coach Shilpa, for just drilling our guest, right? And she's ready. And that's the good news. Okay, Coach Simona, what is your most common leadership style, given that you build a successful team?
Yes, the coaching style is, of course, my leadership style. I'm a coach, I'm a closer. So So that's my preferred leadership style. I somehow, when I'm stressed, tend to towards more dictative. I don't know how to say that.
Dictator, yes.
Dictator
Okay.
style.
Under stress, man, people go there. Yeah.
I'm luckily enough that I also have my coaches and my mentors to guide me. So whenever I feel like I'm, pending off, I ask for help and guidance.
I love that. I love that honesty. And what do you hate absolutely about leading?
About
leadership.
Leading others, yes.
That sometimes it feels alone a little bit.
Okay.
So sometimes it feels a little bit alone, and you're always the one pulling and motivating. Well, I'm not motivating my people, but sometimes you need to to give energy a lot.
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
Makes total sense. So what inspires you as a mentor? Because now you're a mentor.
Well, the impact that I can make for people.
Okay.
And, yeah, if I meant to you, that you're listening right now, if even one of my word meant something to you, I'm super grateful for that. And if you can apply it in some way, that makes me extremely happy.
Absolutely. I love that. So what about what you love most about leading people?
That is very fulfilling. It's very fulfilling to see the growth of the other people, to see their success, and to see the impact they also can make. That's the most fulfilling feeling for me.
Good. And given that you're really looking at the journey, your personal journey, and the journey of building successful team, and now being comfortable in the six-figure zone, and so what would you say is the leadership lesson that has stuck most with you?
That you can actually be more than you think,
Yes.
So you can be more than you think, and that's what I very often tell to the people in my team, and I tell basically also to myself, and that you can be more than you think.
Yeah, I like that, and just taking that away from you, one of the things that I also tell myself, and it is almost exactly as you say, is that the creator never set ourselves limits. It is only us who sets ourselves limits, right? You can say, I can only be this much, or I can be this much. And so really, I like this. This is beautiful. So Coach Simpa, take it away.
Yes. So, Coach Simona, who are the top 3 people you would want us to interview in this podcast? You having experienced our interview for being the leaders in their space. So, who are the 3 people?
Let me think. I think this I think you can invite even Fabio Gallerani.
Yes, I was just about to ask that.
Good. Yes, Fabio.
Yes, Fabio Gallerani, and you can invite maybe also another dragon, which is Michele Porinelli.
Okay, Michele Porinelli.
Michele Porinelli. Yes, note it down. And let me think. Another interesting lady is Courtney Smith. I will make the connection.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, that would be helpful if you can connect us with all the 3 giants.
Yes.
That's absolutely, and that's why it's so good to associate with people who are able to take you to the next level. And you remember, audience, Coach Simona mentioned that if you want to be successful in whatever journey, your career transition, your leadership journey, whatever journey it is, you need to associate yourself with people who would move you to the next level. And you can see Coach Simona is going to make connections so that the people we bring to this show are people who are going to add value for you. So you can learn one lesson or two and really become a better version of yourself. And one of the great things we are going to be putting down below this episode is information about the program that Coach Simona just mentioned, where they're helping about 400 different students transform their lives. So we're going to put not only the social media links, but we're also going to put the website and all information where you can reach her. And we would also definitely want to give some of the key points that we are going to be that we'll be learning. And usually my colleague Shilpa is very good, so I would like her to talk a little bit about some of the key lessons, and she was very busy taking notes, so that as your takeaway points, you can summarize, so we can then bring this session to an end. Yes, Coach Shilpa, take it away.
I want to actually first express my gratitude to Coach Simona, not only for the personal guidance she has given us both, but also for being here and spending her valuable time, because I know her team is waiting for her.
Yeah.
And I personally have so many golden nuggets, Coach Simona, as always. And what strikes me is that you said, start soon and have a vision and keep going. Don't stop. That is what is, I think, the biggest takeaway, because we always get consumed by the busy work and leave our personal growth behind.
Yeah.
And also, second thing you told is that whatever you want to achieve, be with those people who have already achieved it. It's so simple.
Yes.
Right? Be with wealthy people, be with successful people, be with people. If you want happiness, be with happy people. It's as simple as that. And success always leaves clues and the trail. Just follow that steps and don't stop in the way. Get yourself mentored, because the line you said is that if you would have been there already, you would have reached there. But since you're not there, I think you definitely need a mentor, and you can always be better than what you think you are. So you always have a next step to achieve, and your relentless effort. Well, another key message you gave us today is that start learning skills. Don't stop at knowledge. Exactly. And master it. Be vulnerable as a leader. Ask for help, because leadership is being taking that first step in the first place. Without any action, there is no leader. So I think these are my takeaways from today's session, and there are many more, but just to summarize this. And I also love that freedom, loyalty, and persistence are your values, which are also the success triggers. So that is so amazing, Coach Simona. Beautiful. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, Coach Gerard.
Yes, again, I want to add my voice to yours and really to appreciate Coach Simona. We've come a long way, almost 5 years now, growing in this journey of helping people. And so, as I mentioned, we are going to keep Coach Simona's contacts below this video and below the audio, so you can reach out to her. I'm sure she might have said things that struck very close chord with you. So feel free, reach out on our social media, and also to Marketing Genius. If you believe that there's going to be value, definitely there's value the company is adding, and you can always reach out to Simona, especially if you're Italian speaking. That would be absolutely marvelous opportunity for you possibly to be mentored by Coach Simona. And if you're here for the first time, we ask you to subscribe, download this episode, share it with friends and family. Anybody you believe would benefit from becoming a closer, would benefit from becoming a coach, and really transitioning their leadership experience, transitioning their career, so that they leave this small cocoon. As Coach Simona mentioned, they leave being a caterpillar, but they become a butterfly, right? So this is what we are here to do and help you. And we also invite you to join our private groups in leadership and in career transition on social media, so you can continue this journey of learning. And if you would like to invite us for a guest speaking opportunity, for mentoring opportunity, consulting, coaching, you're welcome. And don't hesitate to send us an email at leadtalkpodcast@gmail.com. And we are ready to help you in this transition of leadership and career, so you can become like our guest, Coach Simona, and really change the world where you're able to touch lives Imagine from one patient, a physiotherapy procedure, to right now assisting 400 students plus and growing. This is tremendous. This is what would like you to do. As you listen, take notes and reach out to Coach Simona. And Coach Silpa, how would you like to
Yes.
end?
Yeah, I would like to tell everybody, as we always tell, take best care of yourself because you're worthy, you are precious. Stop struggling, start winning. Stop following, start leading, and keep connected with us. See you soon.
See you. Thank you. Bye.